Let me guess. You've probably seen huge creators pulling in millions of views, and it's easy to think that's what you need to win on YouTube. And I used to think the same thing, but here's the truth most people miss. You don't need to go viral, and you don't need millions of views. And I know this because I have a YouTube channel with only 6,000 subscribers, and I've been able to sign high-ticket clients with a channel that's tiny compared to the big names out there. I'm talking videos with a few hundred views, bringing in real sales calls with buyers ready to pay thousands. As you can see here, I have a payment for $3,000 US, and in this video, I'm going to show you how small channels like ours can win by playing a completely different game, one that the big creators can't even compete in. So here's why being a small channel is actually your secret advantage. Because let me start with a simple picture. Imagine two boats in the water. You have this tiny speedboat, and then you have this other one, which is this massive cargo ship. Now the cargo ship is massive, it's huge, and it looks impressive. It carries way more weight. But here's the thing. The speedboat turns faster, it moves quicker, and it goes to places the cargo ship can't. But while the cargo ship needs miles to change direction, the speedboat can turn in a split second. And that's exactly what it's like when you're comparing big channels to small channels. This is called asymmetric competition, and it's a fancy way of saying that small players can do things big players can't. Big YouTube channels have to go broad to feed the algorithm, and they need to get massive reach just to keep growing. But when you're small, you don't need millions of views. You can go deep, you can go personal, and you can speak directly to the exact buyer that you want. So the lesson is that small channels can win by going deeper, not broader. That is why being small is actually a superpower, because big channels have to water down their message to reach everyone, but you don't. You can own one niche, and you can speak directly to one type of person with one big problem. And when you do that, you build trust faster and you win more clients even with small view counts. So the way this applies to YouTube is that most creators chase big views, but if you chase the right views from the right people, you'll make more money with fewer views than big channels will ever get. And I know this because on my channel, I made a video a while back that got 150,000 views. And it's actually a very niche video. It's about script writing specifically for YouTube. But the problem with this video was that I was speaking to everyone. This video, while it got a lot of views, it brought in a lot of the wrong people. I had freelancers, entertainment channels, faceless channels, vloggers, gamers, a lot of different viewers that weren't my target audience, which are business owners trying to grow their channels to make more money and make more sales. And so while this got a lot of views, it actually didn't bring in the right views, and proportionally to the amount of views it got, I have videos right here with 800 views that book just as many sales calls. Well, actually, like this big one obviously books more sales calls, but in proportion to the amount of views, it's just like this one's super inefficient. So for actionable takeaways, you want to stop trying to reach everyone. You just want to pick one buyer and focus on one painful problem that they care about. So you pick one buyer. It could be coaches, consultants, SaaS companies, marketing agencies, whatever it is, focus on one type of person and one painful problem that they care about. So maybe it's trying to grow on YouTube, maybe it's Facebook ads, email marketing, whatever your service is, you target that specific service, the problems with that service, as well as the specific target audience. Step 2 is to make the videos feel more personal. So it has to call your niche out directly. If you just say how to grow on YouTube, that's more broad and it could target anybody. But if you say how coaches can get more clients with YouTube, that's now way more specific and it's going to target coaches if those are your target buyers. Step 3 is to remember that you are the speedboat. You can move faster, go deeper, stay focused, and you don't need a million views to win. But there's another advantage of specific content because it makes you look like the expert even if you're small. Because let's say you're walking down the street looking for help with your back pain and you see two shops. One is called the Health and Wellness Superstore and then the other one is called the Back Pain Clinic. Both might have something that will help you, but which one feels like the better fit? Obviously you're going to go into the one that helps people with just back pain because it's more specific. It feels like they understand your exact problem better than a store that sells everything to everyone. And this is called the signaling effect because specificity sends a signal to your audience that says, I'm the expert that you've been looking for. And here's the crazy part. You don't need a big audience to do this. You just need to get super specific. Big channels often go as broad as possible to try to reach everyone, but small channels has the freedom to go deep on one audience with one big problem. And that makes you look like the specialist even if you have way fewer subscribers. So the lesson here is that specific titles builds perceived authority. So when someone sees a video titled, "How Coaches Can Get More High-Ticket Clients with YouTube," they feel like it's made just for them, and that makes them trust you faster because you're not trying to help everyone. You're focused on helping people just like them. It's the same with business, right? When you make a business, they say to pick a very specific niche. So with YouTube, it's the exact same thing. So for actionable takeaways, you want to use buyer keywords in your title. So call out who it's for. So for example, if you work with fitness coaches and you're teaching them how to get more clients with YouTube, you would say something like, "How fitness coaches can get more online clients with YouTube." This probably won't get over 1,000 views, but the 1,000 views that watch this are your dream buyers right there. Step 2 is to speak to one specific problem. Don't make it how to get more views. Make it why your sales funnel isn't getting calls, or why your Facebook ads return on ad spend is super low. Something like that that's hyper specific is going to call out the right viewers. And then lastly is to let specificity build your authority. You don't need big views. You just need to sound like the expert for one type of person with one specific problem. But before we get into the next point, if you want a 24/7 AI YouTube coach that helped me sign $3,000 per month clients, that way you can get daily help to plan videos that reach your dream clients, build high-ticket offers, and turn your YouTube views into real sales for your business, then check out the link in the description to check it out. It's actually this guy right here. It's a custom GPT that I made that's built for business owners trying to grow on YouTube. It's better than the normal ChatGPT model because I fed it with instructions specific to business owners and YouTube. And so you can do a lot of things with it. You can ask it to think of video ideas for you. So for example, right here, I said, what YouTube videos could attract clients? And it says, awesome, here's how you get started. And it asks you questions. What is the niche or industry? Who is your dream client? What's your main offer and price point? You then answer them. So in this example, I said that I was a cold email agency targeting coaches and consultants. And then it comes out with video ideas that are perfect for you to land your clients. And you can talk about it with many different things, like you can get video ideas, even your offers too. So I actually used this GPT to help me with my offer. So it helped me make this entire landing page pretty much. I just talk to it every single day. I speak to this guy more than my mom, so he's probably my best friend at this point. So if you want to check it out, I'll put a link to it in the description. It's super helpful. Like, you're going to love it. But leading to the next point, and that is that you're probably optimizing for the wrong outcome. And it's kind of like sweating without a goal. Because there's a lot of people who go to the gym and they jump on every single machine for an hour and they sweat a lot, they look busy, they feel productive, but the problem is they don't have a plan and they don't have a goal. So weeks later, they see no progress. They burnt a ton of energy, but they didn't move any closer to the result that they actually wanted, like building muscle, losing weight, or getting stronger. This is called the attention trade-off. Because big creators fight for attention. They need millions of views to keep watch time up and to keep feeding the algorithm. But for you, you don't need to play that game. You're not fighting for views. You're fighting for clients and sales. And the best part here is that one client is worth more than 1,000,000 empty views. Would you rather have 100 views on a video and 2 clients from that pay you thousands of dollars, or 1,000,000 views and nothing? If you're a business owner that's serious about growing your business, you probably care more about the sales and the clients, right? So the lesson here is that you win by playing a different game. Small channels can win without going viral. So while the big creators chase reach, you can optimize for conversions. And to do this, you want to create content that pulls in the right people, warms them up, and pushes them to book a call. So use that to your advantage. So for some actionable takeaways, you want to stop measuring success by views alone. You want to check if the video brought in leads or sales, not just how many views it got. So this 1 of 10 thing right here, you don't want to look at this at all. In fact, I don't even check my analytics most of the time. I used to have the app on my phone. I deleted it because it's just very bad for your mental health. I noticed I would be sitting here checking the analytics view counter like 24/7, and it doesn't even matter. It's not actually the sales. What you want to be doing actually is tracking the amount of sales you get, and there's different ways to do it. What I do right now is just ask people how they found me, what video they found me from, and that's how I track it. But there's other ways to do it. You can set up custom UTM parameters on your links. So in your descriptions, for example, the specific link you put, there'll be a custom UTM like code at the end of it that when people click it, it then tracks. If they end up buying through that link, it shows that they came from a specific video. I haven't set up this tech stuff myself, so I'll probably do that in the next month or so. That's what I plan to do. But honestly, the easy way for me right now is just ask people. But that'll be the next step. You want to actually track which videos brings in sales. And that way you can just continue making videos that actually brought in the sales. The data is actually super important, and you learn way more from that. And it gives you another data point to look at that's not the 1 of 10 video views performance. But step 2 is to focus on buyer problems, not just popular topics. So when you're making a video idea, you don't just go look at the YouTube algorithm and see what videos are blowing up right now. You want to just think about what problems are my clients having. So for example, I'm a fitness coach for busy entrepreneurs. Any video topics that could work if I want to attract my dream clients? You then ask that, and this is like a very specific thing. It will come up with topics that could work. So then it comes up with video ideas that would work for your target niche. How to get fit without sacrificing your business or social life. The exact morning routine I recommend for 7-figure entrepreneurs. So what you want to do is go to YouTube and use tools like vidIQ to find outlier videos with proven titles. You then take that and then kind of squeeze in the idea into that title. So I'll show you what I mean. So for example, I found this YouTube channel, Fitness for Busy Moms, right? This is a specific niche. It's busy moms. So we can kind of take similar ideas that work for them and just do it for busy entrepreneurs. So this one right here, simple and easy meal prep ideas for women for weight loss. So let's just take this title. I just said, can we use this title framework word for word, just change keywords to match my niche? So they broke down the framework of the title. So simple and easy workouts for entrepreneurs for fat loss, or simple and easy nutrition hacks for entrepreneurs for more energy. Like, it comes with different ideas using this title framework, but the simple and easy part seems to be something that makes it get clicks. And as we can see, this video was a 100x outlier on the channel, which means it's a high performing video. So that's where we want to take our ideas from. Now, step 3 is to design every video to move people towards action. So you want to mention your offer or your lead magnet. And I always put it in the first link in the description. So like this video right here, if you look at my description, the first link is just the link to my offer. Then the second link is a link to the lead magnet. I don't have any description, any text. I just have the chapters right here, but my descriptions are super simple. Just 2 links. I don't have 100 different links that can confuse the viewer if they're clicking through trying to find where your offer is. You just want the main offer at the top line, and then another one, maybe a lead magnet, the second line, and you can rotate these based on which one you promote more, but first link should always be a link to one of your main offers. But speaking of offers, if you're a marketing agency owner, a coach, a consultant, or a course seller, and you want to get a YouTube content system for your business that attracts leads and signs new clients, that way you can get all your content done in under 4 hours a month, then check out the link in the description and it will take you to this page right here with this video that you can watch, which shows how we can guarantee you 100 qualified leads every single month in just 90 days, or we work for you for free until we do. So if you're interested in that, then check out the link in the description. But the next point is that owning a niche makes you hard to compete with. So I'm going to give a football example for the football fans out there. If you watch the Premier League, then you would know of Brighton and Brentford and the Moneyball system that they use for recruiting new players. So there's 2 small teams in England. We got Brighton and Brentford. And they don't have huge budgets like the big famous teams do, so they had to find a different way to win. And here's what they did. Instead of spending big on famous players, they built their entire recruitment system on supercomputers and data. They looked for undervalued players that nobody else wanted, but the data showed had hidden potential. And they bought these players for cheap, then they developed them up and later sold them for millions when the big clubs finally noticed. So it's kind of like flipping houses, but for underrated football players. So the big rich teams like Manchester United and Chelsea, they watched this happen for years, and at first they ignored it. They kept spending big on famous names, £100 million, €100 million spent just wasting money on trash players that were overrated, even if those players weren't the best fit. And then they started getting cooked, like Man U's trash right now. They're like 16th in the table. But when they started losing to teams like Brighton and Brentford, they then tried to copy this Moneyball data-driven model. Although they haven't done it yet. Honestly, Man U and Chelsea, I don't know what they're doing. They're still spending super stupidly, but even if they try to copy this strategy, they're never going to do it as well as these other teams. First of all, other teams just know, if we're going to sell a player to Manchester United or Chelsea, we can just milk them and charge an insane amount of money because they're going to spend it. So no one's even going to give them decent prices, so they can't even do it. But then also, they're just not going to do it as well. So it's too late. Brighton and Brentford have claimed the space first, and now they own it. And this is the positioning trap in action. If the big teams ignore the new strategy, then the small teams keep winning. But if the big teams try to copy it, then they look late, they don't do it as well, they're clumsy, they're unoriginal, and either way, the small team wins. So the lesson here is to claim your buyer niche first. So on YouTube, this means owning a specific niche before the big channels care about it. And big creators usually stay broad because they don't want to lose their reach. But for you, you can claim one buyer and own that space completely. And that makes your channel hard to compete with because it's built for one specific person with one specific problem. So how does this apply to YouTube? Well, most creators are scared to go narrow because they worry they'll miss out on views. But when you go niche first, you become the special taco truck on the corner and not the McDonald's or the Burger King, right? You're that niche thing that people want to go to because you specialize at that one thing. And that allows you to build a small, powerful brand the big channels can't easily copy without breaking their own strategy. So here's the actionable steps. Pick a buyer niche and own it. So YouTube growth for fitness coaches instead of YouTube tips for everyone. Facebook ads for SaaS companies, right? You want to pick a very specific thing and make your channel feel like it's built just for them. Use niche specific language in your titles, your thumbnails, and your video intros. And then ignore the big players. Don't try to copy Iman Gadzhi or Alex Hormozi. You want to focus on serving your niche better than anyone else. And the more specific you get, then the harder it is for people to copy you and beat you at your own game. It also allows you to get better results for that specific group of people. If you're trying to serve everyone, then you're going to be average at everybody's problems. But if you focus on one specific thing, then you have like a system that you can just repeat for all your customers because you've done it so many times for this exact type of person. So here's what to do next. So now you know how the small channels can win, but here's the thing. Getting views isn't the goal. It's turning them into sales calls. So go watch this video next to learn the 4-step YouTube system that turns views into sales calls. I'll put it up on the screen for you to watch next so you can grow your business and make more money.